When we're cold calling as producers, we all hear the same objections. I already have insurance. I just did that. I just renewed. Just send me an email. And if you don't have a plan, your brain's going to freeze and you only have about 1 second to respond when you're making these cold calls. So, what I'm going to do in this video is give you a simple, repeatable 3-step process you can do for any objection that'll at least help you get closer to the truth of what's going on with your prospect and without sounding too salesy. So let's get into it. When I was first taught about overcoming objections, it felt like I was trying to figure out a whole bunch of gotcha lines about, okay, if they say this, then hit them with this one or hit them with this one. And it all feels real salesy. And what I felt over time is that if people feel like you're pushing them and pushing them, what they do is they get more and more and more defensive. And when we're cold calling, we have to remember we're catching people out of the blue. They weren't asking for this call. They didn't budget time for it. There's a lot of people that sound exactly the same, and we're not trying to push people into taking time. We're trying to pull them out of their defense mechanisms. So we're trying to throw down a little bait and see if they'll bite. You can't throw bait at a fish and expect it to bite on the hook. You have to dangle it out there, make it look appealing. Hopefully they chomp on it. It's the same thing with our prospects. So when I got that idea in my brain, I stopped thinking about objections and overcoming objections as trying to push people past, but instead try to pull people out. So if we're trying to pull people past objections in their brain, I think it's good to pause for a second and think about what those objections are when they get a cold call. Sidebar, I think it helps a lot for you to take cold calls and then pause and reflect on what you're thinking and feeling, because we're all going to think the same things. It's, who is this person? How long is this going to take? What are they trying to sell me? Am I interested in it? And so there's ways to get past all that. One is to have a good, strong opening that introduces yourself really quick, introduces how much time it's going to take, and then what you want to talk about. That gets them past the first layer. So it's, okay, it's Daryl Henry with Bittner Henry Insurance. I have not talked to him before. He wants to talk about insurance. This is going to cue the objection if they don't want to talk to you. It's, oh, I just renewed that. Or I already have insurance, or I already have a broker. We hear all of these. And this is where you need a simple formula on how to get past that initial objection to really try to get to the truth. Because the problem about those objections is they don't tell you anything. You have no idea what their standing is with their current broker, when they renew, what might make them consider it. And we're trying to get that additional piece of information that's going to progress the situation. So here's the formula. First, you need a stall tactic just to give your brain to a chance to pause and reset for a second. There's a couple good ones. It can be, hey, no problem. Hey, no problem is perfect because it works no matter what anybody says, and it'll give you like 3 seconds to think. Or another good one that I've heard is, that's exactly why I'm calling. I don't like that's exactly why I'm calling quite as much. It just doesn't feel natural for me, but it can be very effective. And I know people that have used it effectively. So it could be, hey, I already have insurance. Hey, that's exactly why I'm calling, because most people I talk to that have insurance, XYZ. So that's what it can sound like. Now, the second part of the 3-step formula is the value statement. So you're either going to say no problem or, hey, that's exactly why I'm calling. But then it's, hey, that's no problem. The reason I'm calling is because even when people do have insurance, they're still wondering if they're getting the best deal. And whatever your phrase is, whatever your hook is, your value statement, that's what comes there. And it has to be good enough and compelling enough that people are going to say, be interested, and that they're going to be willing to bite on it. And so the formula of that value statement, it has to be, people want this, but they don't like this. And so I can provide this where you can get what you want without the pain. So it would be, hey, I get it, no problem. Most people I talk to have insurance but they're wondering if they're getting the best deal, but they hate the process of getting quotes. And so, what I could show you is a strategy to help you make sure you're getting the best deal, is to make sure you're getting your renewals on time at a good price without the hassle of getting quotes from multiple brokers. Would that be worth 15 minutes? So, you heard me add the 15-minute ask at the end, because that's the third component, is we want people to know that the next step would be whatever it is. And for me, it's a 15-minute discovery call. It helps if people know what they're signing up for and how long it's going to take. It's going to make them more inclined and more willing to say yes if they know what they're getting into and they know what value that they're going to get out of it. So here's why this formula works. One is it's going to pull people out and get people to tell you a little bit more about their situation. I'm not going to promise you it's going to work every time, because it won't work every time. There are some times where people just aren't interested, they don't want to talk to you, and there's no magic bullet that's going to change that. But what it is going to do is it's going to get people to talk more about their situation that doesn't sound argumentative. And it does lead with value. And it doesn't sound defensive. And it doesn't make you sound desperate. It's just stating the truth. And the truth is, most people that we call don't want to talk to us. But once they start talking, a lot of people don't regret talking to us for these reasons. And what we need to know is, does that apply to you? I understand that I caught you out of the blue, but does what I am presenting to you potentially bring value to you and your business, and would it make your situation better? And ideally, what we're going to find out after that phrase and after that interjection is what's really going on in their world. So if they say, "Hey, I just renewed," it's, "Hey, yeah, I really just signed the paperwork a couple weeks ago, and I really don't want to think about this right now. I might be interested in a 15-minute conversation in a couple months. Put me down there." Or it might be, "Yeah, I have a broker. They also happen to be my brother-in-law, and I have no desire to go to Thanksgiving and sit next to him if I move the insurance." See, these are the tidbits that we need in order to be able to stage our follow-ups correctly, because what's super frustrating about the very dismissive push-offs that we get from customers is it doesn't give us anything to move forward on. It doesn't tell us when they renew, doesn't tell us what their real objection is and how we can get past it. It just gets you off the phone, and now we're going to have to try a dozen times to get them back on the phone. And now they know our phone number, so they're going to be less likely to take our phone call. So we've got this one chance to really try and get the truth of what's going on. But if we're pushy, they'll go back into the shell. If it's not compelling enough, they're not going to take the bite, which is why we have this formula that we use over and over and over again, because it's repeatable. I'm going to tell you that one of the things I learned from doing this job is, if there's too many variables and too many things to memorize, it's really hard to think on the fly. What we need is something compact, repeatable, and simple, so that when we get in the groove, we're not trying to remember 100 different objections. We got this one. This is what we do every time. If this was helpful and you're looking for other ideas on how to get leads, check out some of the other videos in my How to Be a Commercial Insurance Producer playlist. There's things like how to create content to get people's attention, other ideas on cold calling, how to win presentations. There's a lot of good stuff in there. Check it out. If this video was helpful, hit like, hit subscribe. It helps other people like you find the content. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Please go build something great.